Is America the new Babylon? Babylon would be the youngest and the greatest of end time nations, Jeremiah 50:12. America gained its freedom from the British and was founded in 1776. It was in this year that it became the United States of America, making the country 243 years old as of 2019. The UK, on the other hand, was founded in 927 AD, and the Kingdom of Wales was founded in 1283. They joined together in 1536, so Britain was founded in 1536. And would the Queen among nations, Isaiah 47, 5 and 7, and Revelations 18:7. There are 13 monarchies in the U.S. and America, self-governing states and territories that have a monarch as the head of state. Each is a constitutional monarchy wherein the sovereign inherits his or her office, usually keeping it until death or abdication, and is bound by laws and customs in the exercise of their powers. Babylon would be the most powerful nation in the world, Isaiah 47, Jeremiah 50:51, and Revelations 18. The United States, which is perceived to be the most powerful country, has the world's largest economy and biggest military budget, spending over $649 billion on military hardware and personnel in 2018. Babylon is called a lady and has the symbol of a lady, Isaiah 47, 7 through 9. Columbia is the female personification of the United States. It was also a historical name applied to the Americas and to the New World. The association has given rise to the names of many persons, places, objects, institutions, and companies. For example, Columbia University, the District of Columbia, the national capital of the United States, and the ship Columbia Rediviva, which would give its name to the Columbia River. Images of the Statue of Liberty, erected in 1886, largely personified Columbia as the female symbol of the United States by around 1920, although Lady Liberty was seen as an aspect of Columbia. And Babylon would be the praise of the whole earth, Jeremiah 51:41. Donald Trump's presidency has had a major impact on how the world sees the United States. The drop in favorability ratings for the United States is widespread. Trump and many of his key policies are broadly unpopular around the globe, and ratings for the U.S. have declined steeply in many nations. Babylon is the center of world trade, Jeremiah 51:44, Revelation 17:18 and 19. America is the world's largest national economy and leading global trader. The process of opening world markets and expanding trade initiated in the United States in 1934 and consistently pursued since the end of the Second World War, has played an important role in the development of American prosperity. And Babylon would grow to be the richest nation in the world, Revelations 18:3, 7, 19, and 23. National net wealth, also known as national net worth, is the total sum of the value of a nation's assets minus its liabilities. It refers to the total value of net wealth possessed by the citizens of a nation at a set point in time. All nations that traded with Babylon would grow rich, Revelations 18:3. In 2019, total U.S. trade with foreign countries was 5.6 trillion. That was 2.5 trillion in exports and 3.1 trillion in imports of both goods and services. The merchants of Babylon were the great men of the earth. There are 540 billionaires in the United States with a combined net worth of 2.399 trillion. This is according to the Forbes 2019 list of the world's richest people. Babylon destroys her own land with pollution and waste. Isaiah 14:20 and 18:2 and 7. The U.S. produces far more garbage and recycles far less of it than any other developed countries. The U.S. represents just 4% of the world's population, but it produces 12% of the global municipal solid waste. In comparison, China and India make up more than 36% of the world's population and generate 27% of that waste. Babylon is rich in mineral wealth. Jeremiah 51:13. America has an extraordinarily high proportion of the world's mineral wealth. It produces a substantial percentage of the world's oil, iron, ore, steel, copper, lead, precious stones, and zinc. Babylon is a huge exporter of music. Revelations 18:22. America's biggest export is no longer the fruits of its fields or the output of its factories, but the mass-produced products of its popular culture. Movies, TV programs, music, books, and computer software. Entertainment around the world is dominated by American-made products. And her Babylon's musicians are known around the world. Revelations 18:22. History has given us some of the notable music composers and performers, which include Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart, Johann Sebastian Bach, Prince, Aretha, and James Brown. Not to name, there's quite a few more for that list. But like everything else, music too evolved through the ages to churn out various genres. The most notable evolution took place in the last 50 years. Babylon has a huge space industry, has mounted up to the heavens. Jeremiah 51:53. The United States has two distinct space programs: the civilian space program led by NASA and the military space program led by the Department of Defense, through its subordinate unit, the Air Force Space Command. Her leaders use astrology, seers, and mystics for guidance. Isaiah 47:13, Revelations 18:2. On American soil, influences from Freemasonry, Renaissance occultism, and New Age mysticism form the wave of alternative spirituality that has swept the nation and the world. These ideas also placed a real and long-range impact on society's culture and politics. The spirit of tolerance that suffused esoteric movements in early America forged a bond between the occult and liberalism. Babylon's Christian leaders are strangers in the Lord's houses of worship. Jeremiah 51:51. Today there are many false, fruitless, and insidious predators in the pulpits of the modern church. These deceivers are leading multitudes to the worship of false gods through their damnable heresies. Babylon is a nation of religious confusion. Isaiah 47:12-13. During this pandemic, with Easter, Passover, and Ramadan approaching, religious leaders and worshipers are relying more on confused public officials rather than prayer and supplication. Babylon turns upon its own people and imprisons and slays them by millions. Jeremiah 57:33, 51:35-39, Daniel 7:25, Revelations 13:7, 17:6, and 18:24. Some of the first structures built in English settled America were jails, and by the 18th century, every English North American county had a jail. Babylon will have all of her borders cut off, and there'll be no way of escape. Jeremiah 50:28, 5132. 2 days ago, Donald Trump announced that the U.S. will close its border with Canada to non-essential traffic in an attempt to curb what he again called the Chinese virus, prompting further allegations of racism. The people of Babylon would grow mad upon their idols. Jeremiah 52 and 38, Habakkuk 2 and 18. Idol worship takes many forms. Historically, people have worshipped trees, rivers, hills, stones, the sun, moon, and the stars. It can also be the undue worship of people, heroes. In our country, we have music idols, fashion idols, TV and movie idols. We also worship money, sex, drugs, and a whole lot more. In fact, an idol is anything that occupies the place of God in our life. It is why all through the Bible, God repeatedly warns us about allowing things and people to take the place that only He deserves. The people of Babylon would enjoy the highest standard of living in the world. Revelations 18:7. In America, billionaires control much of our lives. The President of the United States is a billionaire. One of the biggest and most famous philanthropists, Bill Gates, is a billionaire. Jeff Bezos, who runs Amazon, the online giant that sells almost everything, is the richest of them all. The world's most popular and equally detested social network, Facebook, was created by the fourth richest person in the United States. And it wouldn't be the U.S. without junk food. The family behind one of the world's largest candy companies, Mars, Inc., is composed of a handful of billionaires. Babylon becomes proud, haughty, and does not consider her end. Pride goeth before destruction, and a haughty spirit before a fall. Proverbs 16:18. Fam, at this time, I'm going to ask you, please bless the ministry. I'm having a very, very rough time over here, but I am alive and I am surviving. But there are certain things that are needed that I cannot do. I don't have the money to do. And so I am asking you to please consider me in your giving. Fam, take care of yourself. I ask in the mighty, mighty name of Yeshua HaMashiach. Lord, put a blessing on those who are ill right now. Heal them, Lord. Put a blessing on those who are not ill, that they may not encounter illness during this time, Lord. Lord, I thank you for the cheerful giver. I thank you for the subscribers. I thank you for the ability to continue to make the videos. Lord, I ask that you show the people the right way, the righteous way to serve you, to worship you, to honor you, Lord, so that they will not be lost in this time of calamity. I ask all of these things in the mighty name of Yeshua HaMashiach. Amen.